In the first lesson of the Basics of Rhetorical Grammar workshop, we learned how to identify an independent clause. But sentences can be made up of more than one simple independent clause. There can be more. That means we have to know how and why we combine independent clauses. That's what we'll focus on in Lesson 2, joining independent clauses. Now that we can identify and write independent clauses, we have the tools to write two kinds of sentences. In Lesson 1, we covered simple sentences, or sentences made up of one independent clause. When we combine two or more independent clauses, we create a compound sentence, or a sentence made up of two or more sets of subjects and verbs. Let's look at an example. Here I have one simple sentence. There is one subject in red, the test, one verb in blue, revealed, and in this case an object, malignant tumor cells, in yellow. But what if I have a second simple sentence? The attending physician scheduled the patient for surgery. Here again is a subject, verb, and in this case as well, an object. If we choose to keep them as two simple sentences, we separate them with a period. The test revealed malignant tumor cells, period. The attending physician scheduled the patient for surgery. Why would we choose this option? How does it affect our reader? Think of the period as a red light, a complete stop. It signals to your reader to put on the brakes for a complete separation of the two ideas in each simple sentence. And because of this, we slow down the tempo for our readers. They move through our simple sentences more slowly. But what if the ideas in those two simple sentences are really closely related? So related that the complete stop interrupts that relationship and slows down the tempo too much. Then we have another option, joining the two independent clauses with a semicolon. Grammatically, semicolons are used the same way periods are used. They divide two independent clauses, which means that they have to have a subject and verb on either side. The difference between semicolons and periods is rhetorical. They have two different effects. Semicolons suggest to your reader that the two independent clauses, the two ideas on either side, have a strong relationship. It suggests a stronger relationship between the clauses than the period does. Think of the semicolon as that stop sign we're just too much in a hurry to stop for, and with fingers crossed that there's no traffic cops around, we lightly tap the brakes before rolling through to the next independent clause, more quickly than we would if we'd used a period. For example, the test revealed malignant tumor cells. The attending physician scheduled the patient for surgery. The semicolon asks your reader to tap on the brakes, to notice that there is a separation between the sentences, but to ultimately roll on through to the next closely related idea. Again, this creates a different tempo for our readers. They move from independent clause to independent clause more smoothly and quickly than with a period. But what if alongside changing the tempo with which our readers move through our clauses, we also want to convey a more specific relationship between the two clauses? Then we have a third option, joining the two independent clauses with a comma and a coordinating conjunction. In this case, rather than stopping at a red light, a period, or rolling through a stop sign, a semicolon, readers slow down at a merge sign, a comma and coordinating conjunction. The comma coordinating conjunction asks readers to look over their shoulder at the first clause before merging it with the second clause. In our example, we've decided to merge the two clauses with comma and, but there are other ways to merge. Just as some drivers will merge more aggressively or more slowly than others and have a different effect on traffic, each conjunction has a different effect on readers. To help you remember all of the different connectors or conjunctions that can be used, remember fanboys: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Notice that each conjunction has a subtly different meaning that defines the relationship between two clauses. Take a moment to review the effect each one has on a sentence, and use our handout, The Basics of Syntax Dependent Clauses, linked in the module as a helpful reminder. The same word chart is found there. To better understand these conjunctions' subtly different meanings, we'll use three variations of an example sentence. Remember earlier, we used and to connect the two clauses. In this case, the relationship we've specified is one of addition. The test revealed malignant tumor cells and, additionally, the attending physician scheduled the patient for surgery. The and also suggests that the two clauses are equally important or balanced. We could also connect the clauses with so, which suggests that the second clause came as a result of the first clause, that the attending physician scheduled the patient as a result of the test. Both of these choices are grammatically correct, but they create different relationships between the clauses, and it's up to us to decide the relationship that best fits our meaning. Of course, there are incorrect choices. If we use but, we suggest an oppositional relationship between the test results and the physician's decision, which doesn't make any sense. A malignant tumor is dangerous. To remove it isn't an oppositional idea, it's a complementary one. In the second lesson of this workshop, we've learned how to join independent clauses to make compound sentences. We discussed our different options for punctuating two independent clauses, periods, semicolons, or commas and coordinating conjunctions, and the effect each of those options has on our reader. Now is your chance to practice what we learned. Please return to the Canvas module, open the Activity 1 document, and follow the instructions to practice correctly and rhetorically joining independent clauses. Remember to save your work, as we will build on this activity in following lessons. Then, when you're finished, move on to the next page of the module for Part 3 of the workshop, where we will discuss how to avoid common errors.